Hi, this is Daylene Barton, naturalfertilityinfo.com and the 21-day fertility diet challenge. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about dairy and how that may contribute or exacerbate certain fertility issues, and eliminating dairy from your diet, something that you may want to consider working towards if you're doing the 21-day fertility diet challenge. Dairy foods are anything that's made from cow's milk, even other like sheep's or goat's milk, anything that is made from a milk from another animal that you're consuming. So cheese, yogurt, sour cream, cream cheese, kefir, all of those things are considered dairy products, and they're really a part of our daily lives in America. Now in other countries they're not so much, but here they are. And so health issues that can be, fertility issues that can be exacerbated by this are ones that are stagnant, congesting conditions such as endometriosis, PCOS, ovarian cysts, and uterine fibroids. All of those are congesting situations in the body where there's stagnation, there's not a lot of movement, and there's excess tissues. And dairy contributes to that. So we wanted to inspire you to consider cutting down or possibly even eliminating dairy from your diet. Now, this is just something to think about, and that may seem really overwhelming, but think of moving towards that, trying it out, seeing how it feels for your body. Now, may not be for everybody, but for some people it has shown to really help their healing process. Dairy creates excess mucus in the mucous membranes and can actually thicken the cervical mucus, which can make it harder for the sperm to reach the egg for conception. So that's something to think about. It contributes to allergies, sinus infections, diabetes, a wide variety of other health issues. So I actually eliminated dairy 3 months ago because of a lot of health issues that I was having, and I cannot believe how great I feel. And now I know this isn't for everybody, but there's been some genetic researchers that have found that 75% of the world's population genetically cannot digest dairy properly. That's a huge finding, and it's not really a big surprise to me. Now in America, we have all this media that really pushes for us to eat dairy products. Celebrities that you see on billboards with the milk mustache, the got milk, all of that. And that's really been a push so that we can get more calcium and vitamin D and reduce the risk of osteoporosis, mainly in women. And pushing it for our children as well. And what studies have been showing lately is that actually calcium isn't as important as getting enough vitamin D for preventing osteoporosis and bone fracture. So some great ways to get vitamin D besides dairy products would be to be out in the sun for 15 to 20 minutes a day. Make sure you're not wearing sunglasses or sunscreen so you could soak that up. After that 15 to 20 minutes, you can put them back on and continue to protect yourself from the sun. But to get that vitamin D processing in the body, it can be absorbed through sunlight, through the retina is the main place. And then some other alternative sources for dairy for calcium would be dark leafy greens, nuts, seeds, sardines and salmon are a great option. Also seaweeds are a great option. So countries like Africa and Asia, who consume the least amount of dairy, have the lowest osteoporosis rates in the world. So I think there's just a little bit of misinformation out there. Our media pushes, corporations push, milk is a big business. And that brings up another thing, that when you're consuming milk, these cows are put in these huge feedlots that are just insane, and this is like this massive production, and in order to keep everything sanitary, they have to give the cows a lot of antibiotics to keep them healthy. So every time you're consuming non-organic dairy products, you're consuming antibiotics, which creates immune resistance in the body. So you're more likely to get infections and diseases and a wide variety of things the more you consume of these antibiotics from your dairy products from these cows. Another thing is that you're getting the pesticides and the fertilizers and all those things that they're consuming in their feed, and they're pumped full of excess hormones that are synthetic so that they can keep producing the milk for us to consume. And then you're drinking that and eating that as well, which can create a state of hormonal imbalance. So not only is it congesting, but you're getting all these nasty other things that are probably going to contribute to hormonal imbalance and immune resistance. So you really need to think about, if you are eating dairy, how can I at least switch to an organic dairy or a raw, organic, free-range dairy, because that's the ultimate goal. If you can get raw, free-range, and organic and cut the amount you eat down each week, you're going to be a lot better off health-wise. Some studies recently were popularized where they showed tons of women, pregnant women, eating full-fat dairy ice cream and eating full-fat dairy products, and we still think that that is a lot better than eating low-fat dairy because these studies have showed that women who ate 2 to 3 servings of low-fat to non-fat dairy were 85% more likely to have ovulation issues. Our bodies do need good rich fats, so if you are eating a lot of low-fat dairy products and you're struggling with your fertility, consider switching to full-fat dairy and just not eating as much of it during the week. If you're going to eat dairy still, you want to consider eating like 2 to 3 servings per week, and preferably it would be something like organic kefir and yogurt, something that's been fermented and has a lot of beneficial good bacteria for digestion. So if 75% of the population can't even digest dairy products because we don't have the enzymes to break that down, you're going to want something that has good rich bacteria that's going to promote digestion. So kefir and yogurt. Consider it if you eat dairy, maybe, I don't know, taking a digestive enzyme even might help to really break that down and digest it. Excuse me. Another thing about purchasing your own raw milk products is you can make your own kefir and yogurt. Now that might seem overwhelming right now, but down the road, as your diet's changing more and more and you're opening up to trying new things, you might be in the mood to try fermenting your own raw milk. So that's something to think about. So alternatives to dairy. So I quit eating dairy 3 months ago, and it did at first seem very overwhelming. And there was another time in my life where I quit eating dairy. My family still does love cheese, and my sons are young and they still drink milk sometimes. So I just have to really be creative, and that is really the key here. Just take it a little bit at a time. Don't go full-fledged all at once. Just slowly, switch over to other alternatives. So some alternatives would be, and we have some videos on this, almond milk, hemp milk, rice milk, oat milk, cashew, macadamia, all these nuts and some other grains, they make milks out of them now. And you can also make your own milk. You can learn how to do that. Now, at first that might seem too crazy, so the stores provide a lot of these milks for you to start experimenting and trying which ones you like. For creaminess, in comparison to milk, I think that cashew or an almond milk, even the hemp milk, is best. It's more creamy for that craving. There's almost, an association with that craving of the creamy, thick richness. And so that was one of the things that I found the hardest. I was like, how am I going to make like scallop potatoes? I love scallop potatoes. How am I going to eliminate butter? How am I going to do all of these things? And I just figured it out a little by a little. I use a lot more healthy oils like olive oil, almond oil, walnut oil. Excuse me. So thinking about switching over to a different kind of oil that you might be using, just pure vegetable oils actually made from soy. We've talked about soy in the past, being a xenoestrogen, so you're going to want to try to avoid that. But I like to make soaked nut dressings, and we actually have one that's really good, which is a ranch dressing that is in the Fertility Diet Challenge ebook that Heather just came out with. But essentially you soak cashews for a couple hours, and then you add all these spices and fresh herbs, and you put it in the blender, and it turns out so thick and creamy. And so you're adding an oil as well for consistency. And I love to spread it on baked potatoes over a lean meat or fish, and experimenting with different spices. Make a curry one for some really rich creaminess. Toss it with the pasta and make yourself a pasta salad. Warm it up a little bit. But you're getting a lot more vitamins and minerals, enzymes, antioxidants, all this really good nutrition, and in replacement you're not getting the congestion, you're not getting the bad fats from the dairy, and you're getting a lot more protein. So consider that as well. Plus, if you're adding dark leafy greens to it, you're going to get that calcium. So consider making raw nut dressings as a replacement. Some stores, health food stores, sell like almond cheese, rice cheese. I personally don't really like those, and I find that they're quite expensive. But if you are having a hard time, you're really craving cheese and you consume cheese a lot, you might want to consider switching to a cheese like that. Some health food stores even make their own raw nut cheeses. So, if you have a local health food store that you love, go to the deli and ask them if that would be something they would consider making, or maybe they make it and they are going to, sell it. Like I said, try it out. If you have a congesting fertility issue or you're having ovulation problems, think about how dairy might be affecting you. Think of how much dairy you eat. Think of how much non-organic dairy you eat, and try to switch. So some steps to take would be definitely switch to organic dairy if you're eating dairy. Try to reduce the amount of dairy you eat to 2 to 3 servings a week total. And then if you're still having fertility issues, you're having a lot of pain, you're having the endometriosis, all of these PCOS, you're just having a really hard time healing your body, maybe try an elimination diet for a while and see how you feel. I know that with my health issues, now they weren't fertility related, I'm not sure how they were affecting my fertility to begin with, but I had major allergies, chronic sinus infections, I had eczema, I had all these different things. Eliminated dairy, and I also eliminated wheat. But the congestion, all of these things, I don't have seasonal allergies. I suffered from seasonal allergies since 6th grade, where every year I cannot breathe. For the last 2 years, when I eliminated dairy, because I went on a total dairy detox last year before allergy season as well. My eyes don't itch, I can breathe, everything. So just consider how these may heal or help your body to heal your fertility issues. Now, this isn't going to be for everybody, but this is just something to really think about. Please ask us questions. Please contribute stories, recipe ideas for switching. If you need support and you're wondering if eliminating dairy is right for you, let us know. Ask the community, because we really want you to be healing your body in a positive, healthy way. And I can't tell you how many times dairy has impacted people negatively. So just something to consider. I hope you have a wonderful day.